What is up, internet world, and welcome back to Accelerate. I'm Mike, he's Ian, and today we bring the all-new Toyota Sequoia TRD Pro. So let's see what this Sequoia does to 60 with its 3.4 liter V6 hybrid iForce Max that makes 437 horsepower and 583 pound-feet of torque. All right, I'm in sport mode. There's eco, normal, and sport. Flip the ground, max on, go. Whoops, a little bit of a squeal. Okay. What do we got? We got 5.96. That is quick. Anything in the fives is fast. That is the general rule for 2024. I haven't been in a car that's 5 seconds that's slow, where it doesn't have enough passing power, or it doesn't feel like it has enough, brr. It's hard to do 0 to 60 tests because different vehicles respond differently from like 30 to 70, which is kind of the important piece. 0 to 60 is tough, to be honest, because the first 10 feet can be slow based on gearboxes and that kind of stuff. So I will tell you, this has enough passing power to pass most things.
All right, there's your 0 to 60 test with the Toyota Sequoia TRD Pro. Basically a direct tie with the Tundra TRD Pro. Who would have thought?
Have you subscribed yet? Welcome to Sequoia National Park to look at the all-new Toyota Sequoia. Launched in the year 2000, they've only had 3 generations, and this is the third, launched in 2023. That means for 23 years, they only had 2 generations of this. So this must mean something. Or it must mean Toyota's really slow at giving us new stuff when it comes to Sequoia. This is a 2024 model, and this is the TRD Pro with an exclusive color called Terra. Now, if you have watched our channel, you will know that we had this exact color in the Toyota Tundra, and that is because they're pretty much almost the same. A little bit difference in the front end, but the main difference is this. Instead of a truck bed, this is a big 4-door honkin' SUV. So if you're looking at buying yourself a Sequoia, they're sold in 5 different trim levels, starting off with the SR5, then moving up you get a Limited, then the Platinum, then the Capstone, and then the most expensive one, the TRD Pro, at just over $78,000.
Okay, before we go further, let's see what you get with the TRD Pro. You're gonna get 2.5-inch Fox internal bypass coilovers and rear remote reservoir shocks. As well, you get a TRD Pro front stabilizer bar, a skid plate, and an automatic limited-slip differential. Plus, you get about 1/2 inch extra of ground clearance compared to a regular Sequoia, putting it at 9 inches. As far as the exterior goes, you get a TRD Pro triple beam LED headlamp, 18-inch TRD Pro black forged BBS wheels, a TRD Pro Heritage Toyota grille with an LED light bar, exterior amber marker lights, which funny enough, it's not wide enough to need them, but hey, they look sweet. You also get a TRD Pro hood badge and this Terra color as Mike mentioned. Inside you get fancy TRD Pro seats as well as second row captain seats. You get a TRD Shift Knob for multi-terrain select, crawl control, and downhill assist control. Plus, you get a JBL 14-speaker audio system and a TRD heated steering wheel.
To the front of the Sequoia, isn't it very similar to the Tundra? It's pretty much exactly the same with a little bit more conservative built into it. The grille is not as large. In the Tundra, it goes all the way down to here. It's very aggressive. This is more toned down and calm. You've got this authentic old school Toyota logo right on the front grille. I love that. And on the side here where the headlights are, this is exactly the same as the Tundra. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 individual projectors. You've got this big perforated DRL. And underneath here, you have a functional vent on both sides. Moving down, you have 1 and 2 horizontal LEDs. I like that. That's a cool style. Moving up from there, you have your radar, your front camera, and then this really bright light bar. Mike? To the side of the Toyota Sequoia. On the front, you will see these fender flares that have this camo style design on them, which is kind of cool because it just makes it different than your regular plastic. As far as wheels go, these have 18-inch BBS forged wheels that say TRD Pro right on them. Moving down from there, you have your 360 camera around your black mirror housing, and then you have these things. They're called side step to get in. They're a little bit wobbly. So let's talk about it. This roof rack system. It's fairly loud on the highway when we drove it back, and we've had it for about a week now, and I will say that if you're planning on buying one with this system, you test it out with your Thule box, as well as the stuff you plan on putting up here to see if you can tolerate the noise inside the cabin with it up here.
So we looked and looked, but we could not find the static weight capacity for this particular roof rack system. Should Mike be standing on it right now? Well, not entirely sure.
So let's whip around the side of this Toyota Sequoia that drinks regular fuel and tows just over 9,000 pounds. The exterior is very pretty and rugged in my opinion. I like how it has a high spoiler here with a third brake light, of course a rear wiper, but it does open up by pressing this button. Check this out. This is cool. Fold this back down again, you've got the Toyota badge right there. It has blue around it because this is a hybrid. Moving down from there, you have a rear camera, your Sequoia written out in nice black lettering, and then you have two exhausts that are actually legit.
Alright, before we leave the exterior of the vehicle, I just want to point out one thing, and actually you guys pointed this out on our Tundra TRD Pro review, and that is the lack of tow hooks. There are no tow hooks on either the Sequoia TRD Pro or the Tundra TRD Pro, which seems a little strange for a serious off-roading vehicle. The other thing I want to point out is the 23-degree approach angle on the Sequoia. Now that's okay for moderate off-roading, but if you're going to get into anything steep, that could be a problem.
So at first glance, this looks like a regular third row until you put the seats down by hitting these buttons, which are completely powered and basically a one-touch. That is amazing. When these seats fold down though, you have this one roadblock and then a second roadblock. The first roadblock I can explain. This is a hybrid. That's where the battery is. So they raised it up a little bit. The second roadblock is this guy right here. If you need to put anything in here, you really can't. So Toyota thought about it a little bit further. They gave you this. This little thing here can come out and be raised so that way you have a flat floor. Look at that. It's nice and flat. Very unorthodox, but I guess it works. And this is the only way it could work with this battery right here. Kind of silly, in my opinion. Front seat of the Toyota Sequoia. Very similar to the Tundra. Very similar. You've got this massive 14-inch screen. Love it. You've got a 12.3-inch screen from my eyeballs, the driver. You've got this steering wheel that says TRD on the bottom. That's flat with this red 12 o'clock marker. It's nice and high visibility. Nice and high. Feel very truck-like. You have this TRD light bar in the front. Thumbs up. You have a wireless charger. 2 cup holders for my cool little Lark. Then I have drive modes down here. You can adjust all your 4-wheel high, 2-wheel high, 4 low right down here. And then TRD on the shifter. My brain is all over the map because it's freezing cold outside. And this is a lot of tech for the new Sequoia. You should have seen the old one. But the coolest feature are these seats. TRD Pro right there. They are perforated with this camo underlay. Check this out. I love it. Great idea. Great idea, Toyota. With red stitching, of course, even on the door panel. And in case you forgot, it's a Toyota. It has Toyota right there with this red back, I wouldn't say lit, but backlit plastic in red, which is weird because it's a hybrid. It should be blue. Now, a cool feature of this center console with storage, which I might add is a lot. You have a USB, USB-C, but the cool part about it is this. If I have my keys and I want to put them in this thing and I don't want to lift this whole contraption up, I can simply slide these things back, drop it in and slide it forward. Now what I do appreciate is the fact you have physical buttons I can press. I've got buttons down here, your heated seats, ventilated seats. I can even use these toggles up here to adjust the temperature back there where Ian is sitting. So let me show you guys how to get into the third row. Very simple, very easy on these captain chairs. You just lift it up and it does this. Like one touch, boom. Very easy to get in, lots of step space. I jump in here and it's very, very good. Now, as far as headroom goes, I'm 5'9", and this is probably about the limit of where you want to be. I do have 2 cup holders, lots of visuals out there. I even have a sunshade in the back, which is really cool. And I have a button that can recline these seats. And I have a button underneath or a handle that I can slide these seats backwards and forwards. So a lot of maneuverability going on with these seats in the back. I also have a vent, so I'm not that claustrophobic because there is no panoramic sunroof. Now, being in the third row, if I want to get out of here, it's even simpler. It's simply a red pull handle. I pull it and boom, I can just give it a kick because that's what all kids are going to do, and I can jump out with lots of space. Now, jumping into the second row, it has the same seats as the front. They are perforated with camo, thumbs up Toyota, with an armrest, lots of square footage as far as width and length goes. It does have climate control, a USB, USB-C, and a plug that can jam 400 watts of power. So how about the ride in this TRD Pro? Is it uncomfortable? Is it too noisy with these tires? And no, the only noise I can complain about is this roof rack. That's the only thing I can complain about. The tires are not even noisy. The suspension is not bumpy and uncomfortable. It's good. It feels stable on the road. Steering is very direct. Yeah, of course, it's body roll. I mean, we are pretty high off the ground. And we do have a 41-foot turning radius, so it's not the sharpest to turn, but it's just a great, good, versatile, like, I'm going on the shoulder now, and I feel totally solid. So that's what it's good for. And even in the city, it's good. And even with people, it's good. So there's no complaints about this being too off-roady or too noisy, besides the roof rack. It shifts really quick. It's powerful. It is better than Lexus engine though. This is a better, more responsive, lighter, aggressive motor than what's in the LX600. And this might not make a big difference to you, but the Toyota is primarily rear-wheel drive. If you want to make it four-wheel drive, you have to use these little button, push down and put it into four-wheel high or four-wheel low. But the Lexus is always all-wheel drive. It's never two-wheel drive. So you don't have to push any buttons down. You just get in it and you drive. This one takes a little bit more technical skill to use your finger, push it down, and then pull it back, and then get four-wheel drive. Yeah, that hard. Good luck.
So this vehicle is a hybrid, so you're probably wondering how efficient it was during our 2-week time with it. For the TRD Pro specifically, Toyota's website shows 19 miles per gallon, or 12 liters per 100 kilometers, in the city, and 22 miles per gallon, or 10 liters per 100 kilometers, on the highway. We had the Sequoia for about 2 weeks. I drove it most of the time while Mike drove the Lexus longer. And I did a lot of highway driving. And we were getting about 14.8 liters per 100 kilometers, or 16 miles per gallon. So we were definitely not getting the suggested numbers. And to be honest, it barely performed better than the Lexus LX600, which isn't a hybrid.
So what are my general thoughts with the Sequoia? Well, first of all, I've never ever been inside a Sequoia. I've never driven a Sequoia. And in driving it, especially this week, we've had the LX600. This is not a luxury SUV, especially in this TRD Pro format, but it does have luxury pieces that are like sporty luxury. So yes, it's good. It's like going on a date with somebody I never met, and I'm like pleasantly surprised about what it offers. It just doesn't have the marketing hype behind it to sell a lot of them. Well, I mean, I have no idea what sales numbers are, but I don't see a lot of them, so it must be the truth. It's got the pieces though. It's got the digital displays. It's got all the standard knobs that a human needs that won't break over time. It's got the tundra-ness of everything in it. Usually most people that buy these things probably don't even off-road them. So there's that. So thanks for watching. Accelerate. And if you haven't watched our channel before, please do us a favor and subscribe. We need all the subs we can get, because then we don't get to drive cool stuff like this. Thanks for watching.